Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast, and today's topic is this: getting back to hobbies. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Nico, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening. Pretty good. Now can we listen to it?
Yep. So, as I mentioned in the last episode, I am solo this week. I got the house to myself. Nico and Effie are away visiting family for the week. So, today is, I guess, the first day. Yeah, I worked yesterday, but today's the first day of just being able to do whatever I want. And I was like house working fixer-up-it guy. Not necessarily like in the house doing plumbing and faucets and that kind of stuff, but I was doing woodworking stuff, and that's something that I've always enjoyed doing. It's kind of a hobby that I've picked up in the last few years, but it's not one that I get to do a lot of now, simply because when I do have time to do it, which is on the weekends, I'm with Nico on the weekends, and it's just hard getting stuff done because woodworking isn't one of those hobbies that's necessarily safe to do with a 4-year-old. It's sawing and hammering and nails and screws and sanding, all that kind of stuff. And it's also a hobby that I can't really do when Nico's asleep, like when he goes to bed early and I've got a few hours before I go to sleep, because woodworking's loud. So today I was able to, I found an old dresser that I sanded down and stained up a little bit to match the bed that I'd made him years ago. It was actually one of my first projects that I made for Nico. Was I took this old futon frame that I'd found the slats for and kind of sanded them down, painted them all different colors, so there's blues and oranges and yellows, and did this kind of patchwork headboard and footer. I wasn't as much of a purist in reclaimed wood back then, and there is some new 4x4s and new 2x4s that I use for the edges, but I, kind of rough them up to make it look like old wood. But now I've kind of become more of a reclaimed wood, pallet wood type of guy, where I try to be pure and that I only use older wood. One, because it's just helpful for the environment, so I don't have to chop down new trees, but also it has definitely that weathered look I like. When we first moved into this house, the very first weekend that we were in here, a huge storm came through, blew down the old redwood fencing that was on the side of the house, and the owners next door replaced it, but I salvaged all of that wood, and I'm sitting out in the backyard right now. I made a couch out of it. I made a coffee table out of it too, so I took the plank boards and built all of that. I've built another couple of things in the house as well, and it's not precision work. It's not something that it's definitely a hobby. It is not going to replace my day job, that's for sure. But it was just fun doing those things again. And I think hobbies and our special interests and things like that are really important for us to enjoy, and it's part of our identity, and it's part of a break from day-to-day dad life and family life. But if you're like me, hobbies, along with working out, tend to get bumped off the calendar, and they don't get prioritized as much. I know that's definitely been a challenge for me. A lot of dads I talk to have the same problem. Don't know if that's the same for you. And if it is, what I recommend is, looking back at, what are the things you used to do before family life started that you really enjoyed and aren't necessarily doing now because you feel like you don't have time or maybe the energy to do those things. But try to add some of those things in. And I know if in doing that kind of inventory, there are things that I used to do before becoming a dad that I thought, well, I did really miss, because part of it was like, oh, remember when I had all this time to do all this cycling? Like, I miss cycling. And then I got some time and energy back, and I started it up again, and I just didn't really like it anymore. I changed and kind of outgrown it or moved on to other things. But woodworking is definitely something I really enjoy, that now I want to just make more time for, even if it's just a little project here, a little project there. Working with wood, it's just something I've come to really enjoy. And if there's something that you're missing out on, like think of it that it's, something that brought you joy or excitement or fun, and just a little more kind of aliveness to you. If you don't have that going in your life anymore, like then your aliveness is a little diminished, and your attractiveness is a little diminished, and your energy is a little dimmed. So those are all things that make you who you are. And it doesn't have to be something that like, well, now I'm a dad, I can't do it. Like there might be some kind of hobby that you have that you don't do anymore. Like if maybe skydiving or something perilous like that was your hobby. I mean, there's a lot of dads that still do those things, but maybe you're making different priority choices. But, then find something else that gives you another spark, instead of it being like kind of the humdrum, the same old, same old. Because I know today, after having been able to do that like basically all day, it was hot and sunny. So, after finishing all of that this afternoon, now took a quick shower. I'm about to cook some dinner for myself. Started sipping on an adult beverage here, just sitting in the backyard and enjoying like working hard and creating things. And I had forgotten about the dresser that I sanded and the like. The way that it ties in with the kind of color thing is I found these old used water spigot, like turning on the faucet for the hose on the outside, of all these different colors that were weathered. And so I ordered a bunch of those, and those became the handles of it. So I've got that kind of like weathered dark wood look going with like kind of the kids' colors type of thing. It's not exactly vintage in a what do you call it, antique sense, but it's just cool to have it be just something different than ordering it online and having it delivered to the house as a piece of furniture. It's just something that I enjoy. Every time I'm like getting clothes out of his dresser or putting him into bed, knowing like I made this and I made it for him. And the bed is even greater because it was the first wood project that I had done, but also my dad taught me a lot of things about woodworking and house stuff and remodeling and things like that. And he did it with me. So it's grandpa and dad built this bed for Nico. So that's special. So the message today is, find your hobby, get back to it if you've been laying off it, keep it going if it's something that you have been doing, because it gives you a spark. It gives you that kind of aliveness and swagger because you're doing things that you're enjoying. Then you're going to be that much more present with your kids and with your family when you're with them, because you're filling yourself up by doing those things. So put your in this post, if you're in the Facebook group, or if you haven't joined it yet, go to the Dadhood Journey Facebook group, apply to get in. And on this post, like, tell me what your hobbies are and what you enjoy doing, and what's your little escape and fun time for yourself. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. So until next time, take good care of yourself, take good care of your families, and we'll connect on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
Here you go, Dan.